how do you do? Today we have a grammar lesson. Our grammar lesson is grammar of unit 10. Our lesson is about gerunds and infinitives. About infinitives, we have 2 infinitive and 0 infinitive. Let's start with the gerunds. What do we mean by gerunds? Gerunds is a verb that is used as a subject in the sentences, and this is sometimes, and it's a verb ending with ing, and it's similar to the present participle. So let's start with the uses of the gerunds. The first use, we use gerund as a subject of the sentences, as these sentences. We have example here. Smoking causes cancer. So here we have gerund, which is smoking. Smoking here is a subject of the sentence. The second use is the gerund sometimes coming as a complement of the verb to be. So one of his job is cooking for the president. Here we have a verb to be is, and cooking. Cooking is gerund or a verb ending in ing. So gerund is here a complement of the verb to be, which is the word is. Sarah is good at playing tambour. Here we have a preposition. So gerunds coming after prepositions in the sentences. Here we have at. At is a preposition. After at, we should use gerunds. We can say Sarah is good at to play tambour. No, it's wrong. Or at play tambour. Again, it's wrong. We should say at playing tambour. So we use gerund after a preposition. The fourth use is we use gerunds in a compound nouns. Here we have raining shoes. Raining shoes is a compound nouns, يعني أسماء مركبة. Put on your raining shoes. Raining shoes يعني خفافة بازدانية أو خفافة بازدانية. دبجة خفافة بازدانية الخك. الفيدا خفافة بازدانية شيء compound words. يعني أسماء مركبة. Compound nouns. Sorry, compound nouns. So number 4 or the fourth use is compound nouns. We have 4 uses about the gerunds. Now we have infinitives. Infinitives we have, as I told you, 2 kinds of infinitive. We have 2 infinitive and 0 infinitive. 2 infinitive is 2 and a base form of the verb. It has 2 forms, as I told you, 2 infinitive and 0 infinitive. Let's start with the uses of the 2 infinitive. The first one told us that we use the 2 infinitive in order to express the purpose of an action. So what's the purpose of this action or the aim of this action? Jack went out to do something, to do some shopping. So Jack went out for some purpose, or he has an aim for going out, which is to do some shopping. So the first use is to give us a purpose of an action, as I told you. So the purpose is here, to do some shopping. The second use, let's see the second use. The example is take this money and buy the children something to eat. So the second use is to show how something is used or how something will be used. And in this way, in this example, it should be preceded by a noun or a pronoun. Here we have a pronoun, which is something. take this money and buy the children something to eat. As I told you, we use infinitive to show how something will be used, So in these sentences, they tell us how the money will be used for children. How it will be used? They will buy something for children to eat. We have third example. Let's read the example at first. It's important to brush your teeth every night. Here we have adjective, important. So we use to infinitive after adjectives. As I told you, important is an adjective, and we use to infinitive after adjectives. Number 4, Baran asked me how to complete the homework. Here we have the verb asked. We have a list of verbs. When it comes in the sentences, we use to infinitive after them. Like, as I told you, like ask, explain, decide, forget, know, show, and tell. Here we have asked. I forget where to put the adjectives in these sentences. Here we have a question word. So when we have a question word, again, we should use to infinitive. When we have a question word, we should use to infinitive. Here, that was a stupid thing to do. In these sentences, they told us that we use to infinitive to comment or give us a judgment about the noun. So, that was a stupid thing to do. That was a stupid thing to do. This food is too hot to eat. This food is too hot to eat. So here we have to. After to, it should be an adjective, and then we should again to infinitive. So after to, and we have again here enough. After to and enough, we should have to infinitive. So this food is too hot to eat. You aren't old enough to go outside by yourself. So the last use is we use to infinitive after the to and enough. We should use to infinitive. Now let's move to the zero infinitive. Zero infinitive, it is, when we say zero infinitive, it's a normal verb, a verb without to, a base form. When we check out in a dictionary for meaning of the verb, we look to the zero infinitive. So when it comes after an auxiliary. So when we have an auxiliary verbs in a sentences, after it we must use zero infinitive. When I say zero infinitive, it means a verb, only a verb without to. So she can't speak to you right now. Here we have can. Can't here is an auxiliary verb. After auxiliary, we should use zero infinitive. We heard, again, this is an example. We heard them open the door. Here we have heard. Heard is a verb of sense. A verb of sense يعني أفعال الحواس الخمسة. We heard them open the door. Heard it means يعني دنگ هاتمه. إذا الفيدا بايا چیه؟ أبايا since verb. Since verb يعني أفعال الحواس. إذا إيش أفعال الحواس يمكن كارتينا zero infinitive. Again here we have next example. Let's read the example. Why wait until tomorrow? We have again the question word why. When we have a question word why, after why we should use again, zero infinitive, which is the verb only the verb here. Why wait? Why wait? Not why waiting or why to wait. No, why wait until tomorrow? The next example, I started walking to school at 8 o'clock, or I started to walk to school at 8 o'clock. Now, here I can ask you a question. Is there any difference between the last two examples? The answer is no. They have the same meaning. The first one, I started walking to school at 8 o'clock. And the second one, I started to walk to school at 8 o'clock. Both of them have the same meaning. So here I can tell you that there is some verbs which come with gerunds and comes with to infinitive. And both of them are correct and both of them have the same meaning. Now let's move to the exercises at the end of the lesson. Or before moving to the exercises, I will just remind you that there is here a list of the verbs. The first one, verbs followed by gerunds, and the second one, verbs followed by infinitives. The third one, verbs that can be followed by either a gerund or an infinitive, as I told you in the two last sentences. I will not read all the verbs, but just I told you that all these lists, you have to memorize them. It will be benefit for you. Now let's move to page 110. 110. Number 1. I asked him to show or showing me his book. Because here we have asked, we will choose to infinitive, as I told you. So, number one, to show is correct answer. Number 2, the campers went to find or finding some food for their fire. The correct answer is to find. To find. Here, why do we choose to find and not finding? Because here we have a purpose of the action. The campers went to find some food for their fire. Why they go to find some food? They go to find some food for their fire. So here we have a purpose of action. And because of this, we choose to find and not finding. Number 3, I avoid to eat or eating too much sugar. Avoid, because we have avoid, we choose eating. Number 3, eating. Number 4, Robar keeps to forget or forgetting to feed the cat. Again, we have keeps forgetting. The correct answer is forgetting. Number 5, that was very mean thing for Kawa to say or saying to say. To say. Here we have a judgment. Number 5, we have a judgment. Number 6, Nujin and Jian went to see or seeing the fireworks. To see. Number 6, to see. Number 7, Karim wants to swim or swimming with us. To swim. Number 8, I'm too tired to work or working today. To work. To work. Why? Because we have to, as I told you, to, an adjective, then we have used the infinitive, to. Number 9, please stop to talk or stop talking during the lesson. Talking. Talking. It's so simple. Sometimes we have a verb that is existed in this list. So when you say, for example, when you say aim or agree, you should use infinitives. When you say the verb keep, you should use gerunds. It's a simple way to answer or to do your exercises. Now, number 10, he doesn't remember to ask or asking. To ask. To ask. Number 11, they concerned to go or going to Kobani for the weekend. Going. Number 12, and the last one, we offered to help or helping the elderly woman with her bags. To help. To help. And in this way, we finished the grammar and the exercises of the lesson 10. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.